you do not want to promote like the weed millionaire or Bitcoin offers, any of these trade coins. You do not want to start with promoting crypto. You don't want to promote something like this. What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to be discussing CPA marketing using Google Display Ads. Now, in some of the other videos, I already talked about how to market your CPA offers using Facebook ads, Quora ads, Google search ads, as well as YouTube ads. But we haven't really talked about Google Display Ads. Now, I'm sure you've seen those display ads. They're basically the banners that you see all over the internet, on websites, even sometimes on YouTube videos, and that is the Google Display Ads. Google Display Ads are underrated, but they're also very, very powerful. And they kind of work like Facebook ads or even like YouTube ads. And so here I am in my Max Bounty account. I basically clicked on search campaigns and I'm looking at campaigns. And the first thing that you want to look at is you want the CPA rate to be relatively high. Now, you don't want to promote basically any of those email submits or pin submits or sweepstakes or surveys on the display network. You can only do it if you're using some of my other methods that I talked about in some of the other videos, and specifically building a site and using Google SEO and then promoting that site. Now, the next thing you want to look at is you want to stay away from these questionable offers. And what I mean by them is, obviously they could be very legit, very good offers, but you do not want to promote like the weed millionaire or Bitcoin offers, any of these trade coins. You do not want to start with promoting crypto. You don't want to promote something like this. You do not want to promote luxury mattress is actually a good one. That is something I could see myself promoting on the Google network, because it actually has a really good EPC and 160 per lead. So that is something we might want to maybe do a case study in some of the later videos. That looks pretty interesting. You want to stay away from some of these Nutrisystem offers. Like I said, no crypto offers, bad credit loans. You want to stay away from any credit type offer and things like that. Basically, when starting out, you want to focus on two things. Either you want to promote an e-com product, like a physical product. So something like a mattress, something like a table, maybe a gadget, something like that. You want to keep it simple. Maybe there's a cool like videography, photography gadget. That's always a good one to promote. Another thing that you're gonna have success promoting in is basically a tool, right? So there is something called Envato, which is a very popular. It's actually a really big company, and they sell all kinds of products for basically sites. And what I mean is WordPress themes, templates, fonts, web designs, things like that. And the reason I keep going back to this offer, I actually promoted this offer before on both the Google Search Network, Facebook ads, as well as Bing, because it's a legit offer. Everybody has heard of Envato Elements if they're doing any kind of development. Like web development, any kind of WordPress site building, things like that. So this is a really solid offer. And so if we open this offer, I'm going to show you another reason why this is a very solid offer, is that they also give you resources. When you open the offer page in Max Bounty, you have this description box here. And typically they tell you, they give you more information about the offer. And sometimes they tell you things like restrictions, here's what you can do and cannot do. Some other times they tell you basically targeting information. Here are the demographics that convert the best. Males 25 to 34, females 25 to 34, or females 35 to 44 or something like that. So they basically give you demographics which convert the best. And other times they even give you something called an affiliate publisher toolkit. And that is something they have given us here. And if you open that and you scroll down, you basically have three things that they kindly have provided to us. And that is a swipe copy, an emails PDF, banners, a zip file of banners, and also some information on increasing revenue from WordPress posts. Read our 15-minute guide on how to 10x your affiliate earnings with Envato Elements in WordPress. So this is extremely valuable information, and not every single offer gives you that. So when they do give you that, you should pay closer attention to that, because it's going to make your life a lot easier, right? Because now you have swipe copy and emails. If you have an email list or you're building an email list, you can do that. But what we're interested here is the banners. And also, if I see an offer that gives me banners and I think it's a legit offer and I believe in the offer, I think it's from a legit company, I'm going to go and try to promote this on something like the Google Display Network, because I already have the banners. And the hardest part, the creation of the banners, is pretty much done for me, so I don't really have to worry about that. Now, if you find a good offer but there are no banners, there are no resources, but you want to really try promoting this offer on the Google Display Network, go on Fiverr or Upwork, or start with Fiverr, pay somebody $5 to $10 and they're going to create you a couple of banners for that price, and that should be enough just to get you started. Okay, so I basically went ahead and download these banners. I have them open in my computer in a folder here. And what I realized here is that it's basically a bunch of banners. These are very similar banners, and it's actually a good quality banner, because they tell you the 8 things that the offer really is about, right? Free items, add-ons, logos, vectors, templates, textures, patterns, and more. So they tell you exactly what you're going to be getting when you're going to be clicking on and hopefully signing up for this offer. And now you're given 12 banners in different sizes, right? Different dimensions. And this is perfect for going out and promoting them on a banner display network, because immediately you have a bunch of banners that you don't even have to work about. And the fact that they provided you with typically means that they have some belief, and they feel that these are high converting banners. Otherwise, they're not going to be wasting their affiliates' time, because they're working together with affiliates. They want you guys to make money because they're going to make money. So we have a set of 12 banners. We have a good offer here that we can promote. So we have everything from this side. From this end, kind of the network end, and now we need to think about the Google Display Network. And so here we're gonna, I'm gonna walk you through the entire process of setting up the Google Display campaign from beginning to end. All right, so here I am in my Google Ads dashboard, where you're able to see all kinds of campaigns: search campaigns, video campaigns, enable, disable campaigns, anything that you want. And so what you want to do is you want to click on all campaigns, then you want to click on this campaigns menu item, and then you want to click on the plus button. Once you click on the plus button, you're going to be greeted with another screen: new campaign or load campaign settings. We're going to go and click on new campaign. And after you do that, you're basically given a guidance, right? And this is like a wizard. And so we have several goals, and it says select the goal that would make this campaign successful to you. So we have sales, leads, website traffic, product and brand consideration, brand awareness and reach, app promotion, or we can do it without the guidance. Now, typically you want to be optimizing for the first two, sales and leads. But since this is an affiliate offer, we cannot really track either one of these. Now, you can track the leads, and you do that by creating a landing page and then collecting emails. But actually for this offer, we're going to try to promote them directly to the landing page that we're given. Because I feel that this is a highly reputable offer from a reputable company, and this should be pretty legit. It's a completely white hat offer. Now, I do typically create landing pages because I want to collect emails, because I'm already buying the traffic. So why not collect this person's contact information so that I can reach them again and again. And so, but for the simplicity of this tutorial, we're just going to focus on website traffic. Now, I do have a video that goes into greater detail on basically building an email list or building a landing page that you can watch, and you can learn the entire process. I don't want to talk about it here because I want to keep this video relatively short. And so we're going to be focusing on website traffic. So if we click on this, you're going to be asked to select the campaign type. We're going to select display. We're going to select standard display campaign. You can also do a Gmail campaign, which is pretty interesting. That's something that you can test. Now, if you are promoting your own site, you can enter the website's, your business website here, and you're going to get ideas. But we're going to skip on that so I can show you the entire process of kind of, configuring this campaign from the beginning, right? Without having any of these, ideas from a website. So we click continue. And so the next screen loads, and here is where we configure the campaign. And so remember, we have a campaign at the top, and then we have ad groups. kind of stretching out from the campaign level. And below the ad groups, we have the ads. And basically a campaign it has only several configuration options, right? We have the locations, we have the languages, we have the bidding, how you want to bid, budget, and that's pretty much it. And then at the ad group, you do the actual targeting, right? This is where you specify the kind of people you want to reach, as well as the kind of content that you want to display your ad on. And I'm going to show you how to do that. And so for this, I like to start with United States. Obviously, you have to look at this campaign and see what they say. I believe this campaign, traffic is allowed from all countries. Some campaigns are more limited. Some are only about US traffic. I typically like to start with US traffic because it's some of the highest quality traffic in the world. And I want to see how things convert in US. Because if it doesn't convert well in US and it's a general campaign, then chances are it's not going to convert well in Australia or the UK. So unless that campaign is kind of, there's something about those campaigns, those offers that make them more interesting in those countries. But typically I like to start in the US, and being from the US, I'm familiar with the US market. I know who Envato is. I know that people use it. So I'm much more confident starting with the US. Now this is very important. We have the target here. Now typically you want to pick so the first option is people in or who show interest in your target locations. Now, I typically do not like this option. I want to pick the second option because I want to pick people that are in my target location. I do not want to pick people who show interest in my location, because you can pick somebody, you can choose United States, but then it's also going to include some people from Costa Rica because they're interested in the United States. So you don't want to be targeting those people. So you want to pick this. You want to exclude people in your excluded locations. You do not want to exclude people who show interest in just the first option and then the second option here. We scroll down. You obviously want to pick English because this is a campaign in the English language. That's already picked for us. Scroll down. Now we have the bidding. So here's where we kind of have to look at things, right? We want to be focusing on conversions. Okay, but we're not going to be sending the data back. And so we'll have to basically monitor this campaign manually. And this is where you actually pick manually set bids. So because we cannot set the actual Google Pixel and all of that because we don't have access to the checkout page. And like I said before, if we're collecting leads, if we're collecting emails, then we can optimize for leads and we can do this automatically. Then it's going to be a different bidding strategy. But to keep it simple, we're going to do conversions and we're going to be picking manually set bids. We scroll down. Now for the budget, right, you can start this with $5 a day, $10 a day, something relatively small. I like to start my campaigns with $5 a day and just see what happens. Okay, and so once you do that, take a look on the right hand side. First of all, we have the available impressions. Now we haven't yet set the targeting. So Google is basically showing us pretty much everybody on their network, or almost everybody. So we have 10 billion people. That is way too broad, and that number is going to go down as you're going to see in a little bit. Now, if you scroll down, you see some campaign, you see some estimations, clicks, etc. So you can keep an eye on this. I don't really pay too much attention to this because a lot of this data, it might be on point. Sometimes it's not really on point. And so you'll just have to kind of monitor the campaign manually and just see what happens. So we have the ad group name. Now, let's call this, I just like to keep it simple. I just call it ad group 1. And so now here is where you have to pay attention, because this is where things get very interesting and very powerful, and also where you can make a ton of mistakes and waste a ton of money. First of all, we have the people who you want to reach, and this means audiences, demographics, or both. And if you scroll down, we have the content where you want your ads to show. And that's kind of how you have to think about the display network. And this is also applicable for the YouTube in-stream ads that I made another video recently. Is when you're doing these kinds of campaigns, you have two things that you can be focusing on, or a combination of both. Is the people you want to reach, the demographic, right? The people's interests, their ages, their gender, things like that. And then you have the second time, and this is the content, right? This is the sites, this is the topic, this is the keywords. And so you could just target the people, or you can just target the content, or you can target both. And so what you want to do is you want to create multiple ad groups for people and for content. That way you can see which of your ad groups are, performing better, because you want to separate these, the people and content into separate ad groups, because it's harder to track if you lump everything into the single ad group. It becomes a lot harder to track, and that's why you want to separate. So typically, I like to have one ad group with people, and let me explain this real quick how this works. And so it's telling us that we have a custom intent audience WordPress, okay? And this is something I was playing with before, so it remembers that. And so you can type something like WordPress here, and it's going to figure out, it's going to go basically search and find audiences that have either interest in the topic that we're looking for, or actually they have an intent. And what that means is they are actively searching, researching for that specific, so they're in market, right? So we have intent, custom intent, which is basically interest, and then we have in market. So in market means people who are actively searching for solutions to something. And this is very, very applicable to what we're doing, because we're selling solutions. We're basically selling a product that will help, WordPress designers or WordPress admins or people working with WordPress sites to basically create sites and things like that. And so we have in-market audience, people who are actively looking for SEO and SEM services, right? You can pick this, and you're going to be basically reaching those people who are actively looking for something like this. So that is really good. In-market audience is really good. And then we have intent, right? Intent is basically an interest, right? So this is an interest. We could pick WordPress. And once you do that, we have an update. So it went from like 10 billion to 120 million. That's still relatively big audience group, right? But that is at least something that we can work with. We can also pick WordPress website development. And let's see what we get. And we still have 120 million. We have templates for WordPress tutorials. Okay, WordPress templates. Let's see. Let's remove the tutorials. And we have templates. And it went up a little bit, right? So this is something you'll have to play with. We have SEO. We have a lot of these things. So you can play with some of these. You can pick that. You can scroll down. And you can look at some of the intents, okay? So we have some ideas here. You have affinity, technophiles, right? You can play with all this. You can do that. Then we have demographics. Now, for this particular interest, for this particular offer, we are not really sure who is the demographic that we want to target, because we have not been told the demographic in the offer. So we have no idea who the demographic is. Now, typically, this could be anyone from 18 to 64, right? Now, typically, a lot of the time it's going to be somewhere in the middle, but we have no idea. So if I were you, I would just leave this wide open. The only thing that could have helped you is if you actually have a site that's where WordPress tutorials, templates, and then you can go into your Google Analytics and basically figure out who the demographics is. And that way you're not going to be operating blind, because in this case, I have no idea who is the potential audience for that kind of thing. Another little hack that I can think of is basically if you know somebody that runs a site targeted to these people, you can basically reach out to them and ask them, or maybe you can search some YouTube videos. Sometimes they show their analytics, and you can learn more about that. But another thing you can do is basically email Envato, maybe in their affiliate center, and contact them and ask them, hey, can you tell me the demographics and that kind of thing. So in this case, we don't know. So let's scroll down. And so you can make an ad group from this, right? So let me scroll down. I'm going to make an ad group here. So I went ahead and uploaded a couple of ads just to show you how they would look like from the provided banners. And I basically put in like a sample URL just as an example. And so we can click on create campaign now. And it's going to go ahead and basically create the campaign for us. And so the campaign is ready. And the next thing that you want to do is you want to create another ad group with the placements. Okay, so let's continue to this campaign. So here I am trying to create a new ad group for this campaign. Now, as I explained before, you want to typically create at least 2 ad groups, maybe even more sometimes, and you want to separate, right? You want to have the people, the audiences in one ad group, then you want to have placements in another, or maybe you can have another ad group of something else. And so what I want to do is I want to clear all my audiences, and I want to basically So I'm going to clear all, none are selected, and I want to scroll down and I want to take a look at content targeting. Now, when you're talking about content targeting, you have keywords, topics, and placements. I like keywords. I have had decent success with keywords. I have not had much success with topics, and I have had mixed success with placements. So you might want to create two separate ad groups, one with keywords, one with placements, or you could lump them in together if you'd like. And so let's take a look at some of the keywords, okay? And I can show you what I mean. Now, when you're doing keywords, right, and these are not, right, these keywords is not like the Google search campaign. They're not going to be entered by somebody. They're basically topics. They're basically ideas. And so in this case, what you want to do is, let's say we enter WordPress.com. And so once we enter WordPress.com, we're given a lot of, WordPress design, WordPress plugins, website blogging, WordPress tutorial. And you want to basically pick the keywords that you feel are the most relevant to your offer. And now in this case, this would be something like WordPress plugins. There was also WordPress design, blog design, WordPress blog. And let's see what else we have. Create a website. I guess you can basically add all of these if you'd like, and just to see how things would work. Okay. You might want to remove how create a website. You might want to remove some of the more general ones. Okay. And because they're not going to be applicable. Another thing that you can do is you can basically delete this and you can put something like envaromarket.com. And so if you want to do that, you're going to be basically, we're putting in the website of the offer, right? Who are the people that are giving us the offer? And so the problem with this kind of WordPress is we have a lot of these kind of branded terms. We have Envaro WordPress theme, Envaro WordPress, buy WordPress. So this is a good one, buy WordPress template. So maybe let's add all the ideas. So yeah, you can add all of these ideas and later on you will be able to see how they perform. Or if you know another kind of a WordPress design website, and obviously you'll have to do your research, you'll be able to put in that WordPress and you'll get more search ideas. Okay, once we have that, we basically have the keyword setting, only show ads on websites, apps, and videos related to these keywords. And that's exactly what we want. Okay, now we can have an ad group bid for this. We can bid, 75 cents or something like that. And we also have 86 million impressions. Okay, so that's one thing. Another thing that we could do is placements. Okay, I just want to quickly show you the placements. And this works really well as well. This is something that you can experiment with because this allows you more kind of fine tuning. Where do you want to actually place the banner? And so there's a lot of websites. So let's say I enter WordPress, or let's say WordPress design. Okay, and it's going to basically come up with a list of websites, YouTube channels, YouTube videos. And remember, this is a display ad. You can place it on YouTube channels. You can place it on YouTube videos, right? So if you know a YouTube channel, so that really is about WordPress design, you can place your banner there. So this is something you'll have to research with because obviously I don't know a lot of these guys, but here you have a plug into it, WordPress tutorials, 971,000 subscribers. Maybe it's kind of a small channel. Let's scroll up. Code and design, 100 videos, 16,000 subscribers. So you can also search for Envaro, and let's see if that's going to pull up anything. So there's websites. So let's take a look at some of the websites that we have. Okay, so here's Colorlib. I actually have heard of that website. That is a good website. You might want to actually visit that website, see what that is about. We change everything, one WordPress, free WordPress themes, simplicity, free themes, website templates. So this is perfect, right? Website templates, website themes. This is exactly where you might want to place your ad, I feel. This would be a good one. What else? So we can put it here, and we have 130,000 impressions. So that is really good. You can put it on this webnots.com, and it goes up by 50,000. And so you can pick the websites that are relevant to the offer that you're trying to promote. And you can pick as many as you want because later on when your campaign starts running, you'll be able to see, the results of this. You'll be able to see which website is actually delivering you the best bang for the buck, right, you will be able to see which website has the best conversions for you. So you can pick as many relevant websites as you want, and later on you can find and fine tune it and play with it. So we have about 1 million impressions. That is a good number. We can kind of get maybe 5 million if we want, or something like that, 2.5 million website designers. So we can do this. Now, there's another option called targeting expansion. So increase your reach based on the positive targeting and the settings selected above. That is something I typically leave this off. You can increase this, and what Google is going to do is it's going to go out for similar users that are not in your targeting, right? So it says here, reach more users by letting Google look for high-performing audiences similar to your target. So I don't really, if your targeting is relatively small, so maybe it's under 1 million, about 500,000 or something, then you can do something like this. But I have 2.8 million, and I can increase it even more, right? I can add multiple placements, and I'll be able to reach a lot of users that I want. So that is not necessary in my case. For you, that might be a necessity. Now, we also need to create a new ad. We're going to upload display ads. I'm going to go ahead and upload some ads here. So I basically went ahead and uploaded 5 ads, and it's super easy. All I have to do is basically upload them, and Google figures out, what are the dimensions, what is everything, and then I can create this actual ad, create some of the the text and the headline and all these things. And once we do that, we basically create this ad group. Okay, and then we have the final URL. You could put whatever you want. This could be your landing page, or maybe this could be a bridge page or something like that. We create this ad group, and now we have 2 ad groups, right? We have one with our keywords, and then we have another one with placements. So we have 2 ad groups. One is the people demographics, and another one we have with the content, with the actual stuff that people are looking for. So maybe maybe it would be a good idea to create another ad group, or you can leave it with 2 ad groups and just go from here. And so at this point, we have a budget of $5 a day. You can specify specific budgets per ad group, per campaign level. So we have a budget of $5 a day, and that's going to be split according to the optimization for the ad group. So if one ad group is performing better that Google feels than another one, then it's going to give it more money. Unfortunately, in this case, we're not optimizing for anything. We're not collecting leads. We're not, making sales. We're not optimizing for sales. And so it's going to be a little bit harder. So Google might just split it 50-50. And just go from there. And later on, you might want to optimize this for leads. And that's what we have. This is enabled. It's fully enabled, has the green circle. And in this case, it's going to go into review. And then maybe in 1 business days or 2 business days, you're going to hear back from Google, and they're going to tell you if this was approved. And if it wasn't approved, they're going to tell you why it wasn't approved. And at that point, hopefully it's going to be approved, and you'll be able to run your display campaign on YouTube channels, targeting the specific demographic, or the placements that we talked about. And then you'll have to measure the performance of this campaign. So one thing I really want to point out is you definitely want to be measuring the performance. You don't want to just leave it and forget it, because this campaign does not have an end date, right? It has a start date whenever it gets improved, but it doesn't have an end date. And so, you can either set an end date, run it for like a week at $5 a day or $10 a day or something, or you want to basically be monitoring it every day. I typically I make it like 7 days, and I monitor it every day, right? Because it's my money that I'm spending. So I want to make sure that money is working for me. And so that's kind of what we have here. Then you're going to see all this data. You're going to see the clicks, the impressions, the average cost per click, the complete cost. You're going to see the audiences. You're going to see the locations. We have United States. You're going to see all kinds of nice data, devices, demographics, what kind of audience is responding the best with your campaigns. So you're going to have a lot of cool data. And that is all I have for you today. I really hope you've gotten some value out of this. I really feel this is a very, very underrated traffic source that you should definitely test out. I have ran campaigns before, and some of them have been pretty successful. And so this is something that's worth testing. And so I really hope you've gotten some value from this video. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. If you enjoyed the video, definitely smash that like button, and definitely subscribe to this channel if you want to see more similar videos about digital marketing, make money online, make money from home, and pretty much all of these kind of entrepreneurship topics that we're all interested in. So again, thank you so much for watching. Thanks a lot for your time, and I will see you in the next video.